Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our feature video here, I've got something to share with you. Now, I'm not going to be sharing bang by chain goods on my channel. And this was something that came in the middle of summer. Osborn, the people handling their marketing, contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing their Tough Brush. Now, they don't know I'm making this video at this time because it's been so long. But that's because I was putting it through the process of using it on site with my products and services that I perform here. Now, this is a stainless steel 20 thousandths wire knotted wheel. And it's got the typical 5/8 thread there. They offer them in several different sizes, arbors, and all of that stuff. And you can look on their site and see all of that. Now, Osborn's a worldwide company, and I believe they have over 2,000 employees, and they're manufactured in 13 countries. Even Richmond, Indiana, USA. All right, now they sent me a whole box, okay? I got to give out a couple of those because since the middle of summer, I'm still on the same wheel. And that's what we're going to use here real quick. Now, I'm not throwing away my cup wire wheel, and I use it all the time. And it's the fast, easy way to take off the outside coating of the marine growth or bottom paint that's put on marine shafting a lot. I use the stainless steel because you cannot put steel wheels, wires, embedding steel into the stainless and then put them back in salt water. It's not pretty. All right, so let's bring you in, and I want to show you where that wheel works better than the cup wheel. Now, prior to using these wheels, I would use the cup wheel. I'm not saying that it was totally non-usable, but I'd have to come in and I'd have to hit that side of the key, hit this side of the key, and kind of work it on back and forth, and you're not really using the full benefit of the cup, but the cup is not fully getting in to where you want. With the wheel, the Osborn wheel, I'm actually able to stick it right into that groove and go side to side and right on down, and I don't have any part of the wheel actually wanting to kick out because the direction is in the pull of this. And of course, I got the guard on here, and I'm usually anti-guard, but I actually have that on here, not for showing you this, but because that wire does want to fly off time to time, and it's best if it's not flying into my face. All right, here we go. Now, there's a lot of bottom paint and growth right in there. And we got to do a dye check on here, so we're getting right in there. This is a real good example because that was really big buildup in there and stuck on there pretty good. Okay, now I use the cup wheel and I'll get on the outside. This can go on the outside, but it's not preferred over the cup wheel. So it's not the everything answer, but it is a great, hey, you saw my grinders on the wall. I got 8 of them hanging up there doing nothing, right? All right. The other benefit is cleaning out these threads. And I can put another roller underneath the other end of this thing so that it can rotate. And then I can grab it. Okay, we come over here to the other end, and this has got some paint, and some green paint, brown paint right there, and we got some rust going on in here, and looks like a little hammer ding there. There's been some fretting going on with this coupling here, and it looks like that dimple has sheared off. That pin's been walking a little bit. This might be a problem child, but we need to clean it up. So we go ahead and get right in there with our wheel. Alright, it looks pretty good. Now we're ready for our cup wheel. Alright, Osborn wheels. They perform for me. That one there, I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through that box. Okay, just a share, an honest share. Alright, we get our project clean. We got to get a die check on this, and then we'll get in there our feature video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and this is Buffy gets a new spindle bearing. I think this is part 4. We had one other one after part 3, and I think it just kind of showed us having the motor together, and we were getting ready to head to the island about a year ago, Cape Verde Islands, and we enjoyed our trip out there. One of these days I'm going to put together that video and share my experience there. Alright, so back on to Buffy here. The plan is, I'm going to go ahead and finish taking out these nuts right here. They're all broke loose. We're going to pull the head right off of this thing, and I'm going to be pulling the ram and all of the components here. You can see that Billy did a nice job. He did a lot of fairing in with the Bondo, and most of it is pretty well done. And him and Trish, they've went on their way, and they're headed down south now. So, but I'm grateful for his help around the place here before he took off. So we're going to be pulling this off of here, and we're going to head on in, and we're going to draw out and make a mount that we can bolt to the bench and bolt the head to the bench itself, and then reconstruct. We're going to strip this all the way down, take this all apart, and clean it, and start our paint job here, and assemble the entire head in on the bench, and then we'll continue on pulling. We got to pull off our ram. We're actually, it did move when I first got it, but it's tight now, and I can't move it back and forth. Although it is very cold in here, I can get that to move. So we want to pull this all out of here and all apart, and I am going to be putting a riser on this mill. I want to have that extra height so that I can run index head and parts and not have to do the raising and lowering of the table and changing from end mills to drills and all of that. I want the room there to do it all without having to go up and down on the knees with so much. And by having it in the riser, the average riding position of the knee will now be in a more new spot to be used, and it's kind of just my thinking on it. If I hadn't mentioned it before, the difference between this mill and the one that I have in there, this is a 1970, that's a 1960. That one has a longer table. This one here has a longer knee. The single square is larger on this machine without moving anything. Whereas that one in there has got a shorter table, longer. This one here has, it still doesn't equal up. This still has bigger square because of the longer knee. And I think it's gonna be pretty cool to have that option. The readout may or may not work on this. It's pretty close to the total travel. We'll see. The X is fine. The Y may be short. Alright, let's go ahead and pull this off of here and keep track of our nuts. And there's some washers here too as well, so we want to make sure. Might be better without gloves to grab those. And I thought I dropped it and I didn't. So I thought I was wrong once. Okay, that one there is kind of playing with me. Alright. This should just slide out now as a center spud, and I believe that screw just comes off of the end of the gear as well. There we go. Pretty good chunk. All right, and these slide into there and then come out this way. And they're uniform, so you don't have to worry about which way they go in, but you can see a slight bit of rubbing and you'll know which direction that is. Alright, more so on the top here, so you see that would in that way there or that way there. Alright, and that gear looks pretty good. I've actually had some mills that there was broken teeth on here and you'd get over a certain amount and then it would drop on you, and but this is not the case on this mill here. This is pretty good shape. Alright, let's go ahead and take the head in, and we may come back out and get a couple dimensions here, but I think all the dimensions will be right on the head here to allow us to draw up and cut out a stand. Alright, so let's go. Okay, we were going to cut something out on the table, but carrying this in, I eyeballed this right beside the desk here, and this was a wafer that I cut for something, thinking it was going to be big enough, and it wasn't, but this will fit for here. This is 7-inch here. This diameter here is like 7 3/8, so we're not going to be quite going all the way out there, but we'll be able to grab these 4 holes, which these aren't a uniform pattern. They're oddball to make whatever coming through the face over here to line up on that circle worked, and that's kind of what we'll do. We're going to face this. We'll turn our male register just barely going in here. This is 3-inch, so that'll register. We'll lay it down and we'll transfer punch in here this pattern. We'll tap those out for 1/2 inch. We'll run studs in so that we can hold it. This side here, we'll flush it out, and we'll dish it slightly in the middle, and then we'll put probably a 5/8 thread in the center there, and we're going to drill 1 hole in our giant angle plate that we made for the lathe boring fixture, which is a real nice angle plate, which will give us enough height, and then we'll be able to rotate this and be able to work on all positions, and also when it comes time to paint it, we'll be able to paint it by just rolling it over and hitting every cavity and all of that. All right, while I was in here kind of cleaning this out, I noticed that this set screw is missing out of here, which actually holds a dog point into this adjustment here, which runs that worm. This is some tarry stuff. This is almost like Cosmoline in here. But I can also, at the same time of rotating this, I can pull this out slightly, and I can see that groove start to drift out here. So we'll be able to pull this out of here and clean it all up. And in that goodie box there that was sent to us quite a while ago, there was a little worm gear in that box, and I believe that is the worm gear. So we'll look at it, and if it needs to have a new one, we'll put the new one in there. If not, We know that we have one other part here that will have that same, I think both adjustments use the same worm. All right. And then we'll be able to get this head up and start playing with it. All right. I'm going to go into the lathe now and do the turning that we need to do on this. We've got this set here just slightly over 3, and we're running true. This is this out inside and outside. I tapped it in by eyeball, just went like this, 400, 450, somewhere like that, around there. Put the indicator, drew it in here, and I touched off. We barely cleaned. There's a little bit of rim there, but it's not going to touch anything. So this is going to be the register that's going to stick inside the actual head. Okay, so we're just going to rough off another section here. So we're just going to stick it in about another 100 thousandths, and we're going to whack it off. Okay, that's going to be more than enough. Whoop. Didn't mean to push you. Alright. Alright, let's put in the D&M holder here, and we'll be able to... Yeah, I'll have to adjust it. Okay, we're getting close, so we need to make sure that we're going to come in here pretty good. All right, looks like we're about 20 thousandths over 3 inches there. I'm just going to set rough 0 here. Okay, about right there. All right, where's my calipers? Let me find those. Okay, I didn't find my good ones, but I found my throwaways. All right, and we said it was like 20 over. All right, so the end, and we're showing just a little bit there. There's 335. Okay, we'll go find our better calipers here because we are getting close. 335, and we just want to make sure that we're slightly under 3. The diameter with the, that's where my calipers are at. I was measuring that out there. Okay. Okay, my other calipers, if I put them in here. There we go. I got about 3 inches, 30 thousandths with these. All right. Go on 10. That should give us somewhere around 3 inches 10 and 3 inches 12. We're going another 6. 2 inches $9.99. That's about what I got on the other thing there. 3 inches there. It may... I don't need to have it really, really tight. I could take another thou or so off of that. Okay, we're going to put our other D&M back in here, and we'll go ahead and kiss that there, and we're ready to go test the fit and then turn it over. Okay, she's a little warm. You know what? By the time she cools down, she might actually fit in there. Yeah, we don't want to force that in there. Yeah, not far. Pretty good guess. Okay, we just took a skosh more. No, it wasn't that much. Hey, I guess it does. It just fits in that close. Okay. And I'm just pushing out with a screwdriver here on the face. Awesome. Maybe it's that sticky stuff. This is gummy. It's real sticky in here. Alright. We'll go ahead and we're going to face this off and then drill and tap it in the lathe for the 5/8. And then we'll come back and we'll transfer punch these holes here. And then tap those out and we'll be ready to put it onto that angle after we drill the hole in the angle too. Okay, we just touched off when we came in, just to make sure that we're 100% around that face there. So we're just going to jack in about another 3 or so for this operation, just so we're picking up new material. We're going to come over and give ourselves about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to plunge in a couple thousandths for the remainder of the cut so that we know that we have a dished out section there. Okay, we got that. We're going to plunge in like another 20. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and set up the drill and drill and tap that center. Okay, 5/8 11. We've already tapped this out or drilled this out to 17/32. We gave it a little chamfer there and give it some juice there. A little bit on the tap. All right, 5/8 11. You want to ride her in? All right, let's go. Okay, she's through. Pull out. go. Okay, let's move a little bit of the stuff out of the side. That'll be going out. This will be going in. Just like that. Let's see if we can. Alright. Now let's see if a transfer punch will go down through these holes and still be up here enough to tap it with the hammer. Okay, got the plate underneath there, and I have 2 transfer punch sets because I'm going to need both the 1/2 inchers to do this. Now, this has got, I think it's got sleeves on this side, and actually these sleeves need to be cleaned up. This one here is pretty free. If I get this right in the middle there, I might be able to pull this one out. There we go. Pretty rusty. We'll be cleaning those up. Alright, but we need them to transfer punch. What I'm getting at is, this is 1/2 inch. My punch won't go in there. This is about 1/4 inch or so less than that diameter, so I won't be able to pull them out. If I drop these 2 in here, and I take my punch, then I pull these out of here, drop them into those holes, and then I can get all 4 of them punched at one time here. Alright, and now I just tip it up because this won't go down in and get that. Maybe we could do this, I don't know. No, won't go through enough. That was wishful thinking. Alright, there they are. And we got some nice punch marks on here. Alright, we're going to go and drill and tap these at 1/2 inch. We took our studs that come out of the machine itself, and that's not one of those. Okay. In my mill clamp set, I found these, so I screwed these in. And of course, our studs are pretty old, and when you screw them in, you can actually see them twist around like this, and these tapped holes are pretty tight. But I think I was able to go ahead and get this as soon as I found which one needed a twist. There we go. Once it's all the way in there, it's not bad. The regular clamp bolts on this side. Everything fits up the same. Alright, we don't really need to tighten those for right now. Alright, the 5/8 bolt is going to go in here. Just so that we know it's through here. I got a little burr on there. Let's see if we can just knock that out real quick. Okay, nice and clean. I countersunk the other one, or chamfered the other one from the other side because it was laying in the drill press on this face here. No problems. Alright, I got a nice 5/8 mill nut there. And we should be able to just take our head and stick it right in there. Spin our 5/8 nut on here. And there's our table mount. Alright, we could have made it come over this way a little bit, but we'll be modifying possibly, but we want something so that we can take it and we can work on this gear here, this over here. We can turn it upside down, we can do a little cleaning here, we can work on this, bring it on over here, and have no problem right here, and it's substantially holding it. And if we need to, we tighten up that, and we're anchored down to this. If we need to, we'll bolt this down to the jig table, which is where we're going to work at. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this little video getting set up so that we can continue working on Buffy. And we want to get her stripped out, cleaned up, all the internals and everything else off of here. After Billy was in there needle gunning and working on everything else, and I got to looking at it closer and I go, we're this far, let's go for it. And now we can rotate this around, which is going to be really cool, and work on all these gears and making sure that everything is 100% at least taken apart, de-rusted, and just like those sleeves that were in here, and lubed up and putting it back together with a new paint job. Alright, till the next video, get her done.